Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and yes, it's Margarete Miller time again. So, let's have a quick look. I will say we're on 37 or 38 or 30, we're on 30 something. We're on 37, so let's have a little look. These are the prompts for this week. There you go. I'll go through what I dug out in a moment. If I can put the book back down, put the bookmark out the way. Just a bit of feedback. Thank you very much. You seem to have received this with a very positive vibe, and I'm very happy about that. There were some comments about did I realise things match. Yes, I did realise that tassel actually matched these pieces. And then the week before, I was asked, was I aware that this tassel actually matched this bottle top? And I said not at the time, but when I was actually finishing up and doing the photography, yes, I did notice it. And someone also pointed out that these could obviously be vine leaves, which ties in with the bottle as well. So you're seeing more in my collage than I am actually, but never mind. So I really did love that one. I was so pleased I did that, and thank you for all the positive vibes on that one. Yes, it was a bit of a steer away from the norm for me, but I don't know, this was just quirky, and the more I look at it, the more I went, you know, I need to explore maybe more of that, which obviously with Halloween and trick-or-treat coming up, I may still see more of that. So, right, okay, let's push this over to here, and as you all know, I get very nervous about that because I never know whether it's in shot or not, because I can only see up to here. Hopefully you can see up to here, but we cross our fingers. I'm going to buy a new iPad in about 3 weeks time, or actually when you see this it'll be 2 weeks time, so hopefully that may adjust the view. It may be different, we'll find out. So what did I haul out of the archives or magazines or my stash to find out what we're using? First one was something starting with an S. Okay, I found this in a magazine, and as far as I'm concerned these are either sunglasses or spectacles. I thought that's a pretty good S, and actually it's a pretty good cover of an interesting ilk, should we say. Also, I pulled out one of my sticker books, and I've been through this because one of the other prompts has something on it I didn't have any fussy cuts of, and I wasn't about to go and buy a magazine that had that theme in it, so I looked through here and found them in here anyway, so I'll talk about that later. So sunglasses, spectacles or stickers, that all sounds very, very S to me. Texting in a language that is not your native tongue. Now I always hedge on this one because although I'm Welsh, I wasn't raised here in Wales. I don't speak Welsh. I never went to Welsh school. So basically Welsh isn't my natural language. English is. However, I do have a book page from a Welsh book. I think that's German. I couldn't tell you what that is. That was just a snippet I found. I think looking at that, that might be German as well. And then we've got a bit of English. So there you go. I don't know why I put that in there. Maybe that should just be in bits of paper, not that. Next on the list is a car. The only thing I could find was this. It's a little advertisement, probably from about the 1950s, 1960s. So I thought that might be just cute enough to use. What was next? Translucent paper such as tracing paper, vellum or tissue paper. Okay, went off on a slight piece on this one. First of all, I bought in pattern paper. Tissue paper, that ticked that box. However, I ate these. I must admit it, I love tunnocks. Tunnocks are like marshmallow, or some people call it marshmallow. It's on a biscuit and it's like a dome shape covered in chocolate, and I love these things. And this was part of the packaging. Obviously it was a box, so I cut it down to say this, and I think I'm going to use this as a window, so I'm obviously going to have to collage that up a bit, but I'm going to use that as translucent as well. Let's have a knocking stuff all over the place. I've got a tiny little table over here I usually put stuff on, and believe me, it's groaning. Okay, the next one was something with fins. Well, I have a couple of fussy cut whales and porpoise. Not sure that they're the sort of thing I would be putting on this page, but who knows, we might do. Also, as I said, if I bring back in this book and I open up some of these, I've got things like fish in here. I can't say I love every single image in this book. An S for seahorse, I quite like that as an idea as well. I don't like every single image in here, but there are quite a few ones, like S for snake and some really quirky fish. So the one thing I would say about these stickers is, oh look, more whales. I tend to actually put a bit of glue stick on the back of them. I've not had them peel off on me, but other people have said they have, and I thought I'm not going to one day go, where's that missing piece, and find it stuck itself to something else. So there you go. The last prompt, the bonus, which I always do all of the prompts anyway, is a receipt. Now for me, I thought a ticket is a receipt. So if I buy passage on the train, I get a ticket. The ticket is a receipt. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this. And this again, this is the cover of the Tim Holtz ticket book. And I've taken all of my tickets out of the book because I had the whole book stuffed in my ephemera folder and it was driving me insane. So I took all the tickets out, put them in my ephemera folder. Yes, I've started trying to tidy that up. And I thought, I'm not going to throw that packaging away. I'm going to use that. And ironically, it's exactly the right size to slide into there. So I'm going to use that as a big journaling card. I'm not going to write on the back, obviously, because this is the Collage Challenge, but that's going in there. So besides that, a few other things crossed my path and caught my eye. I don't know why. This just appealed to me. And I found another one in the same magazine in a different colour. So you'll probably be seeing her again. At the end of the day, I don't know, that just caught my eye. Oh, there's another bit of book paper. Oh, that's in English as well. A bit of coffee dye, just in case. This was a paint chip. This was a colour I chose for something in the house. Can't remember what it was, but I thought there's a paint chip. Oh, scrap, that must have been in the parking lot. And then I pulled out this bit of rice paper because I like the sea and shore. And I thought, you never know, if there's fins and fish in this, I might want to pop that up there. But I'm unsure because there's no need to put this on there. So therefore there's no need to tear this apart just yet. But I thought if I fancy it, then I can put that up there. So let's have a little bit of a go at putting stuff down. We've got the regular partners in crime, a smoother, a scissors, a tear ruler, a glue book, which is always in and off shot. I bought in some art glitter glue because I think that packaging is going to need it. A couple of glue sticks, and I've started putting a sticker on top of the one that I'm actually using. So therefore I'll use just one glue stick at a time instead of using several glue sticks at a time. So, right, where do we start? We start with the background. Now, I'm actually thinking that what I want to do is I want to cover the entire background with the pattern, the sewing pattern, and then build on top of that. I know this will show through the sewing pattern, and I know this will show, I can't speak people, show through the sewing pattern. So I'm not bothered about that. I am a little bothered about that, which is why I think I'm going to put some book page in. I'm just going to literally come in, because this one is as near as darn it the right size. Which if I take it to, I don't mind that being flush because clear, because that's actually going to be a nice thing to have the pattern paper on anyway. So if I just do that, that cures that problem instantly. Am I worried it's not a torn edge? No, because there's so much stuff I'm going to put into this anyway. So I'm just going to put this down. So, right, well, I start gluing. Let's see how we're doing out there in the world. I have been trying to answer comments. I am a bit remiss. I've done probably about an hour or two's work on comments in the last week. The trouble is, well, it's not trouble. The thing is that I'm actually prepping for 4 TV shows a week today. And when this airs, it'll be next Wednesday. And I will be... I'll be packing to take the stuff to the TV studios because I leave on the Thursday. So life is just ever so fractionally hectic at the moment, because what happened is the company that hired me to do the TV shows for them, I'm actually thinking about this. I think I might just stick this down here somewhere, just as a random piece of something, just so that I've got it on the same page. Their other lead demonstrator for TV actually handed a notice in and left, which meant that then the TV shows that she had booked in, which were only 2, were already booked into the TV studio and had to be covered by someone, and I was the only person available to do it. Well, available, I say, tentatively. I had to do a bit of juggling of schedules and moving stuff around, but I managed to do it. And I do wish her the most luck in her new career move. There is never the right time to walk away from one job and start another job. So I wish you luck. Good on you. I hope you have all the success in the world. So basically, that's what that was about. But what that means is that I'm actually up to my eyeballs in work at the moment, because I'm trying, don't put your ruler on the glue book, Griffiths. I'm trying my absolute darndest to get 4 television shows, which are all going to go on the same day. And I need to get prepped for all 4 of them. And I've got 5 night shifts in a row at the grocery store because we've got some people on holidays I'm trying to cover as well. It's a little much, should we say. But then after I've done that and finished that show, I'm staying in a hotel the night before because I had to be at the TV studios at 5 in the morning, and it isn't physically possible for me to get from Wales to the TV studios that shorter notice. That's just, I can't do that. I just can't. It's just too much for me. So I might just put that across there, actually. I can't do it. It's just too much. It means I have to leave. If I was to do that, I'd have to leave at about midnight, and then I don't finish till late the next day. So it's safer for me to actually drive up on the Thursday afternoon to the hotel, spend a night, get up really early. The hotel's only about 15 minutes away from the studios. I think it's the one that most of us demonstrators and TV presenters stay in. So it's a reputable one. I know it's safe. It's fine. So it's about 15 minutes drive away. So it means that I don't have to pretty much kill myself to get to the studio in time. What else? So then I do 4 shows in the one day, and then I spend that night again in the hotel, because after being up or being on or being really lively on TV and your brain is working 100 miles an hour, because of course the TV I do is live. This is beginning to bug me. I need to try and see if I can just cut that off or something, or maybe just tear it off. So yes, doing live TV it's exhausting, let's put it that way, because you constantly have to think about everything you say, because everything you say goes out. There's no filtering it, it's just out there. So I think, if I remember rightly, there's something like a few seconds delay between the time I say something and the time it goes to the production board and the time it goes live, and it is literally seconds. I suppose if I was to say something very un-PC or very against their policies, then they could actually just hit pause and stop or something. But luckily enough, I've never done that. I've never pushed that envelope. I'm looking at this thinking I just want to cover up this bit as well. I might just do that. So I wasn't planning on covering this in book page. I was planning on covering it just the sewing pattern, but now I'm looking at it, I'm liking the colour of it as well. So I think I might just continue to do that. I still want the sewing pattern on here, however. So the thing is, I want to continue and do this over this side as well. I might well do. Well, I'm being contrary today, aren't I? I'm changing my mind. So yes, that's a bit crazy. If I wasn't under a non-disclosure, believe me, I'd spin this camera around and you could see what state my craft cave is in, which is, it's almost tear-jerking, to be honest. Looking around this craft cave, I'm like, this used to be my precious place. But actually, you know what? Work is work. I know that once the TV shows are over and I come back, I've got 10 days before I then have to be somewhere else for another filming thing. The nice thing is, however, I'll be 10 days at home with nothing much in the diary, which means this craft cave gets a darn good cleaning and a tidy, and everything goes back to where it belongs. Hopefully I can catch up and do a few more coffee with Ceri's. I've got a couple of tutorials on the way. I have filmed the introduction to the 12 by 12 using 12 by 12 pages playlist. That's actually already filmed and it's edited and it's scheduled. So yes, it is happening. I filmed it. Oh, by the way, these are going in a box and not going in the bin. So it's filmed. I just don't actually 100% know when it's going out yet. I also don't know exactly when the 12 by 12 videos will start, because I filmed an introduction because there's a whole load of stuff I wanted to say prior to doing the videos. I basically talk in the video about what I look for in a 12 by 12 pad, what things I try to avoid in a 12 by 12 pad. Just simple things like that. I just wanted to have bits and pieces in there that it meant that I didn't have to say it every single time, every time I do a 12 by 12 video. Because I don't know about you, but that would drive me a little bit nuts if every time I watched the video, the host or demonstrator, or e.g. me, just kept repeating and repeating and repeating himself. So I think that little bit needs to go back in the parking lot. So there you go. I basically covered that, and I really didn't plan to, but there you go. So let's move this aside a second while I try and sort the tissue paper out now, because I definitely want the tissue paper on this. Tissue paper is probably, or should I say sewing pattern, is probably one of the most frustrating things I've come across. It's a bit like, you know, when you unfold a map, you can never refold a map. So I find this sort of paper is equally as frustrating. So I'm just going to, and I don't even know whether I could use a tear ruler on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on and probably trim it after it's stuck on. So let's see, I'll get it roughly the right size, but actually this was the page I was working on, wasn't it? So that's roughly, I wonder whether you can tear this stuff. This is Ceri being brave. Let's experiment, people. Let's see if I can tear this. It should tear. Maybe it doesn't tear. Maybe it doesn't like to tear in a straight line would be my next question. Oh no, actually. Alright, that was learning curve lesson number 1 for Ceri. I managed to tear that. Let's tear this top bit off here, because I don't need this whole expanse of. Actually, let's go down a bit to the dotted line. There you go. Come on, tear. You can do it. You've done it once, you can do it again. There you go. I'm in a bit of a waffly mood today, to be honest. If you could only see what I've been doing all morning, you'd go, not a surprise, just slightly distracted and off the wall today. But it's good. It'll all be fun. I will try and remember to show you what I was doing next time we get together. I will try and do that. I don't really know. I will do my best to see what I can come up with. Right, if I just do... You see what I mean about these? These are just so big. It's like whenever I'm sewing something, not that I sew using a pattern very often. I'm not very good at sewing using a pattern. I keep promising myself I'm going to go onto a workshop or do something to learn to sew with a pattern, because I struggle. I don't quite get which lines you're supposed to follow, which bits you're supposed to cut, which bits you're not supposed to cut, what the notches are and all of that lot. So I do tend to get a little flummoxed when it comes to sewing using a sewing pattern. But you know what? That's just because it's a skill I never learned. I learnt to sew through necessity, because, don't drop the Griffiths, because when I worked in the entertainment industry, you had to adjust your own costumes. You had to, like when I worked on the cruise ships, we didn't have tailors and tailoresses on every ship, or if you were in the middle of a contract and something went wrong with your costume, you basically had to sort it out. And I can tell you now, it's a bit terrifying when you know your costume is worth thousands of dollars and you've got to take a needle thread and maybe a pair of scissors to it, or it can be a bit daunting, and lots of people just wouldn't do it. So basically it was down to, oh, get Ceri, he'll have a go. And just blind ignorance, I would go in and do the best I can. I did okay. The people who asked me to do stuff weren't naked on stage the next time they were there, I can assure you, because I'd done the job. Yeah, it was a bit worrying though, because there was one show I did and we had Bob Mackie on board for the initial show because he did all the costuming, and once he left, if there were any problems with the costumes, guess what? I was the one having to amend them, so, or edit them down, or tailor them, or refit them to a replacement dancer. So guess what? I was there hacking apart Bob Mackie costumes, and it was a bit scary. But I survived to live the tale, and that's how I learned to sew, basically. I mean, my mother sewed, my grandmother sewed, so there is sewing in my gene pool, let's put it that way. It's just, would I call myself a tailor or a seamstress or whatever I'm supposed to call myself? Not in the slightest, no, not at all. Right, I was going to glue the book page and then put this on. Now I think I'm actually just going to glue the pattern very carefully so I don't tear it. So yes, that's how I learned to sew. However, I was never formally taught. I have one of those minds that can sort of work a pattern out really quickly without seeing the pattern. Like if I'm quite good at puzzles, I'm quite good at problem solving, and I think that's just the way my brain is wired, I would imagine. So yeah, it's interesting. I just have never really learnt. I quite like to though. As I said, I'm going to try and get myself maybe on a course or take a couple of classes for it, because I just want to. And I think if I can get to a class, I think I'd be quite happy to sit there and be a student and learn how to do stuff. I'm just putting that on there. Do I care that it's absolutely perfect? Probably not. There are a few air bubbles underneath it, but you know what? Let's just call that character, shall we? I wish I'd have lined that up a little better down that edge, but you know what? That's also fine. We'll do a bit of a trimming session afterwards. That bubble annoys me, but nothing I can do about it, so I'm just going to let it go. As they say in Disney, let it go. So I've forgotten what I was saying anyway. So yes, sewing, I would like to do more of it. Like, I don't know whether you get this. You may get this in America if you're in America. We have a television series over here called The Great Sewing Bee. The Great British Sewing Bee, I think it's called. And basically, it's one of those knockout competitions where contestants go on there and every week someone is eliminated and they have certain challenges set for them. And I find that sort of program fascinating. We also have another one called The Great Pottery Throwdown, which is obviously all about working with clay and pottery and ceramics and stuff. And that's another one I absolutely love. I like television that teaches me something. I'm not really... It's got to be pretty darn gripping to be a series that catches my imagination if it's not something that's... I don't want to say educational even. It's just not something that's productive to me, or there's nothing I can learn from it. Right, that went on so crooked, but you know what? It's staying on there like that because I don't think I could get it off anyway. So there you go, that gives me an interesting background. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to trim, sorry, I stuck to my glasses, trim yet, but I'm going to try. So enjoy this spread at the moment, people, just while I try and trim this off the edge of here. So there you go. Oh, it is trimming okay. So I find that a lot of crafters out there, no matter what their craft is, they usually sew. They usually do knitting, or they do crochet or quilting. I tend to do lots of things. I do cross stitch. I have started on the quilting journey. I've made a few things in my time. Not a full quilt yet. I tend to make the centres of the quilts, and then when it comes to putting the borders around, I sort of stop and move on to the next quilt. I'm really bad. I don't tend to finish things like that. And I think that's because I like the mathematical challenge of doing all the quilt blocks, but then when it comes to the straight stitching and the lines and the borders and all that, I tend to go, bored now, and I sort of move on. So I've got quite a few centres of quilts made, but have I finished them? No. Will I finish them? I hope so. Now I've got the craft cave, and I have no excuses now. I should be able to get them finished. Right, let's put that back where I think it went. So, right, we've got a background down, and I managed to keep that. And actually, it merges into the background really quite well. Right, I'm going to throw this sewing pattern on the floor because it's floating around, and I don't want it to come back into shot again. Okay, right, now we've got the background in place. Now we can think about what we need to do next. That's quite a busy background. And I'm thinking I was going to cover this in book page, but I think what I might do is actually just cover it in coffee dyed paper. Or is that being lazy? And just see what I've got in the basket, which is over here, which is the parking lot. Well, it kind of goes. Let's see, use a bit of that. I'll find out what else. Let's just pull it in. You have a look while I'm looking. So that's how I'll put that. And there's a whole chunk of things in here, but were there anything in here? I don't think blue. I don't think it'll go here. I don't know. I really don't know. That's a bit of brown. Brown will do. I like that, but that's a bit too heavy for what I'm thinking. Oh, there's that. I wonder where that was. I put it somewhere and couldn't find it the other day. So, now I am being lazy because I could just walk over and get some more book page. I could just use that if I wanted. Yep, I think that's all that's going to be in there. Right, so let's just use these few bits and pieces and that. So I'm going to push this all the way up to the top and do this. Now, I am almost certain this video is going to take me a little bit longer than my normal videos, so I do apologise if it goes over an hour. I mean, I usually like to keep my collage videos to about 45 minutes. If I can. I mean, I've failed on that one several times before, but you know what? I'm trying to do the best I can with this. So now I've got a feeling that this may show through this book page anyway, but do I care? Probably not. Actually, that's quite nice. Let's just take the top off that. And there you go. So there you go. Right, what else have we got to talk about? As I said, I am working on the comments. I'm going to take my laptop away with me next Thursday because I'm going to be sat in a hotel room Thursday night and Friday night, basically just twiddling my thumbs. So I'm going to try and answer some comments, although I do have a magazine article to write as well for something I can't tell you about. Isn't that frustrating? I can't talk about it. I just realised I just told you and I can't tell you what it is. But it's very exciting. It's a magazine article for a crafting company, and it's the first time I will have done something for a crafting company as a magazine article. So for me, that's interesting, that's nice. So I need to write that, so looking forward to doing that. I wonder, that might go across there quite nicely. How wide is this? Will it? It's not quite wide enough, but I might use it anyway. Right, let's see if I can put another strip of this somewhere. About where the L is. So anyway, besides writing the article, I will do my best to get some comments done as well, because the thing is that my first TV show is at, I want to say off the top of my head, 7:30 in the morning. Then I think I've got another one at 8:45. I think the one after that is something, and don't hold me to this, is something along the lines of 1:30. And then I've got one later in the day which might be 3 o'clock, but I'm not 100% certain about that. We're still working with the TV company on that one, because the company I'm representing would like the show to be later in the day to capture the American audience, which of course I'm no problem with that. I mean, love you guys. However, 3 o'clock, let's see, what would 3 o'clock in the afternoon be? 3 o'clock in the afternoon would probably be about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning for most of the American viewers, which is usually the time everyone's getting up, going to breakfast, going to the gym, sending the kids to school. It's not really the time when someone sits down to watch a shopping channel. Do correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't always get that right. I think I'm just going to stick that across there once I've got that bit covered. So I've completely blanked that bit, didn't I? Let's just do that. I might decorate this up a little bit further anyway. I'm unsure at the moment. Let's take that down there. So yes, I don't actually know, as I said, about the time of the 4th show. I mean, I'm quite surprised we're not doing 5 shows, to be honest, but then let's be careful what you wish for, Griffiths, shall we? Let's try to get that stuck down. But anyway, so as I said, I'm going to be there for all of the day long, sat in the green room. And if anyone doesn't know what the green room is, the green room is basically the holding area for demonstrators and performers and anyone who's going to, say you were doing live theatre, because as you know, I used to be a dancer. So there'd be a green room, which is basically a rest area for any performers, and basically there's usually a coffee machine in there, there's usually a fridge, there's usually paraphernalia there. You'll probably find people in there reading a book, or you'll find them in there doing other stuff. So yeah, that's what the green room is. So I've got several hours in the green room of hanging around. So if I do have my laptop in the car, I can just bring my laptop in, log on, and get comments done, or as I said, work on this magazine article, which I'm really excited about. Really excited about. So I can't wait to share that nugget of information with you. So, right. So as you can see, all I'm doing is basically giving this a brand new face. So, because I don't really want Tunnock's tea cakes in the middle of my piece. Do I want that up there? Is that a bit too contrived? It is a bit contrived. Right, let that go, Griffiths. Right, I wanted this bit, and I quite liked that. And I might tear that so I can have it in 2 places. So yes, hopefully that will sort itself out. We've been warned that we're heading to a very warm period here in Britain, which is always a surprise to us. But then I think, as you may have heard me say in one of my previous videos, I always regard September, October as summer, not July and August, because I always find they're the hotter months. And here we go, we're about to be in the hotter months. So it's not very often I'm right, but I may be in this circumstance. So I personally don't like the heat. I'm not really a beach person. I would rather be in Alaska than the Caribbean any day. So, right, I think that's okay. I don't need it to be overly decorative because what's going in it is going to be quite decorative. So let's put this to one side. Oh, just had a thought. No, I could just get that in there. I wonder whether I dare try. We'll bear that in mind when it's on the page to see what it looks like. I need to clean these scissors too. Right, let's get this stuck down because I've got a feeling that's going to take a little bit for the art glitter glue to actually get it to stick because this is a shiny surface. So I have been around this with a bone folder, but there's no reason why I shouldn't go around it again with a bone folder just to get this as flat as I can. Do you know I'm sick of knocking that flipping glue stick over? But no, man, that's just my bad. What else happened? Ooh, my order of signet stamps arrived. I'm going to get this wrong now. There are a set of stamps that you can make labels from. I want to say, what's his name? Bob. I think it's Bob and another crafter name starting with J. Or it might be Jennifer. Jessica, Jennifer. Anyway, they've collaborated on doing these label frames, which you've seen a lot of people using already, although I think I've got a slight little twist in how I want to use them. I like that there, that looks going to look good. A little twist in how I'm going to use them, so I'm going to be filming that video as well at some point. I do feel this just needs a little bit of vintage photo just to take this down a notch or two because it is glaring me in the face at the moment. So basically we're heading towards more hot days, as I said. My heart goes out to my friends in America because apparently you've just been hit by another couple of hurricanes. I can't remember the name of the hurricanes, but a couple of hurricanes, which is never a fun thing. I'm just going to put some art glitter glue down here. I'm going to put a reasonably generous amount because I want it to stick and not come off later. Well, who can't draw a line with a glue nozzle today? Right, put that down. Carefully lay that where I want it to go, which is approximately there. And then just press that down and hold it down for a bit. So yes, I've got an idea of how to use those. What else? Oh, that was a surprise too. I did a video last week or the week before, I can't remember. A video that I made called Ceri the Crafter's Expanding Tag. And that's gone down really well and everyone's loving it. And I'm like, okay, I was glad I did that because I wasn't really sure whether I was the one who came up with it first or whether someone else has come up with it in the past. I don't know. But whatever, I loved it as an idea and I was very happy I was able to do it. So there you go. Right, I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to close the book for a little bit just to let weight sit on it, just to hold that in place while we decide what comes next. So, right, so we haven't got the S on there yet, but I'm going to use stickers. Actually, that's what I could do. Let's move that rag out the way. This is the bit that goes in there, and I wanted to put stickers on here, and I had a feeling that I wanted to put the fish stickers on here, but I wasn't sure which fish I wanted on there, or did I want a seahorse on it there, because a seahorse has fins as well as far as I'm concerned. Oh, by the way, I got this on Amazon. There is another one called The Botanist, which is all flowers and fauna and flora. As I said, not every single sticker in here is to my taste. Seashells, that'd be quite nice. Not every single sticker in here is to my taste, but I do come to this occasionally. I like that one. I wonder if that would fit on the bottom. I'm just going to peel this off and just leave it on my work surface over there because I'll forget about it in 30 seconds otherwise. Oh, do I want funky fish? No, I don't want funky fish. I really do think I like that seahorse, and I could put the seahorse right in the middle of there. He needs to be facing that way there. Come on, off you come. Let's put him to one side as well, just in case. So, oh, that's a little bit of an ugly fish. I don't like that fish. So, oh, these are quite colourful. Okay. It's one of those indecisive days again. Now, I did have an idea that I wanted to put a whale on here in the first place. But that whale is too wide for that. I could do it up and down, but that looks like it's been killed and it's hanging. I'm not going to do that. Oh, and I did think about putting an S on there, because something starting with an S. I might actually pull this one out. Okay, I've got some elements, people. Let's put the sticker book by. Actually, let's put the sticker book on top of that. So, right, so this has got fins. And I think if I put that on, I want to actually put some vintage photo on that as well. So I'm going to glue this down. As I said, these are sticky labels. I've never had one come off on me. However, I always err on the side of caution, as you know, because anyone who knows I use washi, I always glue my washi as well. Also, if I put glue stick on, it gives me a bit of wiggle room. It means I can move things around if I want to. I do like the S. Oh, I've just stuck the S to my board. Stupid boy. Well, the S might not... Oh, no, I got it off. I got off without damaging it too much. Actually, I don't like the S. Let's put the S back. It can go back in the sticker book later. So, right, I'm liking that. Let's take a little bit of vintage photo and just calm it down just ever so slightly, because I don't need it to be fully purple. That didn't work for me as fully purple. Actually, I like that better now. It's a bit grungy, but not overly grungy. Oh, there's something else I wanted to do. Right, I made some fabric tape the other day too, and I was thinking if I put a little pull on the top of that, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so I can get this. I'm usually a lot luckier with this. Yay, I did it for once. Right, so let's put that. I guess it's going there because I put it down now. And let's fold this over. For those of you who don't know what fabric tape is, it's a bit like washi tape, but I make it with pieces of fabric and double-sided tape. I like it. It's a quick way of adding a bit of texture to something. I quite like that. Pity's not in the middle, but then the aim of this channel is not perfection, I feel. Okay, let's move this sticker book back out. Let's move this down and see where we're at and see whether this actually... Yes, and I think that will go lovely in there. There you go, and that was absolute luck. I didn't even know that was in the middle. Right, I saw this and liked the idea, and it's the perfect fit. Right, you're going on there, Mr. Shell. Whatever sort of shell you is. How bad English is that? Whatever sort of shell you are. That's a little bit of a smooth down. I'm not sure I want a vintage photo of that. I quite like the pink around it. Just adds a little lightness to it. So right, so we've got that and that. Now, technically, let's see. Something that starts with an S. So we've got a sticker, and we've got a seahorse, and we've got a shell. They all start with S. Text in a different language, got all of those. A car, like the car needs to come in. Not sure where a car is supposed to fit with all of this, but let's just drop it on the page and leave it be. Translucent paper, got that. Something with fins, you've got fins, and a receipt. Is the tickets back? So basically I've done it, although obviously I've not done it because this, I'm not going to leave the pages this empty. That would just be criminal. Beautiful though they may be, and I might have to vintage photo the sides of this. Right, I wanted to add her on here, so let's get this torn out. So, and I'm going to take this bit off the bottom of it, trying to tear in a straight line. And you're just going to take off the top of your head, lady. There you go. Let's move all that to the trash. And I sort of felt that she was going to go up there. Yeah, she does feel better up there. I think it needs to be a bit narrower. I'd like to take it right off by her forehead if possible. So there you go. Sorry, I hope me moving this book around all the time isn't aggravating anyone. I do apologise. I'm just finding it easier to work today by moving the book in and out, not leaving it stationary, because there's a lot of different shapes and things going on here. Let's get this stuck on. I found it interesting watching, I did watch a couple of others do this spread, and quite a few of them were struggling. Mind you, quite a few of them were pleased with their results after they'd struggled, which I went, oh, that's interesting. And I think it was because, once again, we were all pushed out of our comfort zone. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but there you go. But I was going to put that there anyway. So several of us were pushed outside our comfort zone to do that one. As you saw, I went way outside my comfort zone for that one. So there you go. Let's pop that on there, which is where I was thinking I wanted to put it anyway. Oh, something stuck to me. Right, so that's that. It's feeling a bit blur. It's not got anything. It's missing something. This page is not exciting me at the moment, people. Now, I wonder whether I can actually tear this without ripping the crud out of it. Because that's the one thing about using magazine pages. They are really, really not meant to endure the test of time. And they're so easily ripped in the wrong way. So we might or might not be adding this piece. It depends on how well it feels like it wants to play as I'm tearing it. Right. I need to tear it down that black line. So I like to use words in collage. Well, there you go, I just tore it in the wrong direction there, but I think I'm going to live with it. I like using words in collage. I think it's probably because words are obviously really powerful, but then words are also open to misinterpretation. So I don't mind that. I like the play that the vocabulary gives you. So I'm thinking of that along there. And funnily enough, it's exactly the right length. How do I feel about that? I think I'm going to go for it. As I've said before, my collage, my art. So let's see if I can get this done. Oh, what's on this side? Find bras that fit. I like that better. Okay, we're going to put that one on. That I didn't even know that was written on the other side, guys. Okay, if that's made you giggle as much as it's just made me giggle, then, and it's the right colours. So, right, we're going to go with that. Find bras that fit. Okay. Well, I can honestly say my collages are nothing if not interesting. So let's pop you up there, Mr. Bras that fit. That will make me smile every time I see this now. Totally not planned, not expected, just happened to happen, and I love the colour of it as well. Find bras that fit. Okay, right. Words to the wise. There's probably ladies out there all going, yes, a bra is so much better if it's fitted correctly. I obviously know nothing about bras, so there you go. Right, what else have I got on this table that could potentially go on there? I did like this little bit of green, but I do feel it's just not for this one. I had Wales. As I said, I was thinking about adding a whale, but he's obviously not the right size. And even I think these are a dolphin. I'm sure that's a dolphin. Doesn't feel right. That's not. No, they need to go back into the waiting room. That leaves only one thing actually, which was the glasses or spectacles, and I think those are just too bright for what I want. So I'm left with this here, and I want something in there. So let me just see if I can find anything in this basket that just calls to me. I'm not going to use Sea and Shore because I don't think it's appropriate. That's the stuff I just dropped in there. I've been saying I'm going to use these for a few weeks. That would fit, but it doesn't seem to have a purpose. So if it doesn't have a purpose, it's not going on there. Oh, ticket. Ticket? That might work. Because we've got tickets there and tickets there. That forms another receipt. Right, I definitely need to ink up the side of this. Just to give it a bit of attitude. I don't know that it's supposed to be stuck on with glue stick or whether it's supposed, oh, I got the wrong one. Stuck on with art lit glue or whatever. I always put quite a thick layer of glue stick on, and I don't think I've had things come off in the past. Right, I like that right in there. That sits very well with my need to line things up. Okay, right, let's go back to this because we're being successful here. I was looking at this. I'm wondering whether some strips of this might just lighten things up a bit, because we do have that colour there. I might play around with some of the strips of these. Thank you for your patience, but I'm having a bit of a, let's call it a creative moment. I just feel this needs something up there because it's bugging me at the moment. It's not interesting enough. So if I put that up there, that works for me. Let's take that bit off there. I think this was from a book called the Enigma File, or the Enigma Code or something. It was a paperback, and then it was in the Reader's Digest books, and I took it out of the Reader's Digest book as I was gutting the book, so I think I want to tear that down there. So I'm looking for detail, I'm not looking for picture. I'm wondering whether I want just a little bit of that to go across there. Let's get those bits on, and then I need to think, because I'm thinking I want something up there as well, but I'm unsure at the moment. This is another one that's kind of throwing me. I thought I knew the direction I was putting it in, and obviously I don't know the direction it was going in. That's up there. This one definitely needs to go up there. Sorry, I've gone quiet for a second. It doesn't happen very often. I like that. That pleases me there. Well, that's the other bit. It's so well disguised, I didn't even see it. You can go across there. Right, now I'm tempted to put that there, but I think there's now too much of this on this page. Now, let's see if I can find something that's tall and thin that sort of appeals to me. I wonder, I just have a thought, I'm wondering whether that needs to be washi. And the washi is just to my right, so let's have a little look. Washy. I wonder whether, where's the black one gone? I had one with numbers on it. I'm thinking about this one. Oh, did I just really rock this table? I'm sorry. I'm thinking about adding numbers there because I've got letters there. Let's do a little bit of that, shall we? Come on, where's the end? There you go. Oh, rip it off. Now, as you heard me say before, I glue my washi. Sorry, washi manufacturers, but don't trust it. It's failed on me several times in the past. Okay, yes, I'm liking that. I feel it needs some there as well. Oh, a little bit shorter piece. I must be getting weak. I can't tear washi. Isn't that scary? So. I'm looking around thinking I need pieces all over the place now, so I may just be going a bit overboard. Now I've got a quirky moment going here. I think if I take that off there, then this says 2, 3, 4, and that's 5-star. It's little things like that that I like to do in journals as well. I like to put little things in that maybe people wouldn't ever notice, but I know they're there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Do I want anything anywhere else? Maybe there needs something. I'm looking at that as well. I'm wondering how much is too much. Will I go too far? Which I probably will. What about music? We've got this music tape as well. I don't mind it being black. That's totally okay with me, because as you know from previous collages, we've discovered that black makes everything else pop out. It really is a nice pop of colour. Well, it's not a pop of colour at all. It's a lack of a pop of a colour. Okay. I need some more of that on here. Just a little bit, I feel. I don't want a huge amount of this all over the place, because I'm getting to the point now where I'm beginning to think it's looking cluttered. Just a little tiny bit down there, and then I think I want one little piece across there because I don't like the way that looks. Again, just a little itty bitty piece. And that can just slide into the edge there. Right, let's put the washi tape by, take the glue book out the way, have a bit of an assess. Do we think it's finished? Is there anything else on here I think I'd like? Do you know, I'm looking at this thinking I'd like to put a little butterfly there, if I had an orange butterfly, but I think I'm going to just do a bit of vintage photo around the outside, just so that I can see the overall image of this before I do anything to it. Or as Gail Augustinelli would say, let's ink and think. Oh, did you see? Gail has now got merchandise. I believe she's got mugs. She's got zipper pouches. She's got drinking bottles. What else have you got, Gail? I think she's got hoodies or fleeces with hoods, I think she's got t-shirts. What's the other thing she's got? Is it drinking bottled? Oh, totes. I think she's got totes as well. So I'm very proud of Gail. I mean, she's gone all the way down the merchandising route. Certainly a surprise. It's something I wouldn't never have thought about doing. And actually, I don't want to do anyway, but I mean, it's interesting the way, the direction Gail's life has taken her, actually. I think it's fabulous. So just trying to catch a little bit of that edge. Right, and as always, because I've done that, I just want to wipe the springs down because I don't need vintage photo over them. Okay, so I still think I need something there. My gut is saying an orange butterfly. Now, I actually, as you know from my ephemera folder, well, you don't because I've been working on it. I've been changing this around, taking stuff out, putting other stuff in that I like. I've decided there are things. It's like I took all of the tickets out of the ticket booklet because the booklet was doing my head in. But I've started sorting stuff into there, and I'm thinking it's going to be more things like labels and things that I've created. But what I did is I took all of the butterflies out, and I can't find them, and I put them into 3 separate tins. I've got big butterflies in one tin, just because it's easier for me to tip a tin out and look at it than it is to go hunting through that. These are the medium butterflies. I think I'll be able to see better. And these are the small butterflies. Oh, there's orange ones there. So before I go those, I was hoping to get a medium-sized one though. So let me have a quick dig through here. I thought I saw a flash of orange. I did see a flash of orange. That's it. That's exactly what that needed. So yes, I like things in tins. I put labels in tins. I put die cuts in tins. I use tins. So I just find them easier to get into because literally I go in, I open the tin up, and I usually just tip everything straight out. I think I'm going to draw the antennae on this. I'm going to just cut his little antennae off and draw his antennae in because I find I get a much more satisfactory result by doing that. So yes, I'm a tin person. So I'll put you right. Actually, I might put you right in there, actually. I was going to put you across that join because I tend to like that look, but I actually, now I've seen that you fit in there perfectly, I like that. Right, the last thing to be glued down. I'm not moving the book over and the book in. I'm just going to do this over to one side and then stick it in, guys. So, put a bit of glue on it. So, another one of my spreads is a surprise, not only to me but possibly to you as well, because it is definitely different. I have decided, however, that once this challenge is over at the end of the year, what I'm going to probably do is go back through some of these and actually use them as inspiration to do my bigger art spreads, because there's been 1 or 2 in here. Where is it? Like that one, I really love that one. Now, if I did that one twice that size in my art journal or my glue book, I'd be very happy. I just think there's a few in here that inspire me to want to expand on an idea. Like, I love that. I even remember, without looking at the prompts, that was supposed to be the doctor's surgery. I love that. I mean, I'd probably not do that fabric on the bigger piece. But so anyway, I'm thinking of doing that because I won't be doing this challenge next year. Not because I haven't enjoyed it, believe me, I really have, but I like to change things up every year. I don't want to do the same thing every time. Drawing little antennae. I want to be able to do something different next time, and I think I mentioned it on my Facebook page. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge myself instead of following a challenge. This pen is not working properly. Instead of following a challenge, I'm going to challenge myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge myself to make a journal a month. Just single signature journals. And I'm going to take you all along on the journey with me. So I'm going to do maybe 12 journals that are single signature journals, showing 12 different ways to make a cover, say. I'm going to keep them as naked journals, so there's no ephemera per se in them, unless I feel I want to do them. Because then what I can do is, later on, I can then revisit those journals, and maybe we can do a couple of videos on, right, let's make some ephemera for this particular journal. So that's the sort of thing I'm thinking of. It seems to have gone down well, the idea, so I thought, right, let's just go with it. Okay, so I think this is fine. I think I'm done. I've ticked all the boxes. I'm loving this pocket here. I shall have to eat more of those. How unfortunate for myself. I ticked off everything on there. Everything's there. I've gone to brown again. I seem to pop back and forth to brown, don't I? There's quite a few in here. I never realised I liked that colour that much, but I guess I do. Maybe the next one I do, whatever the next one is, I'm going to try and add a splash of colour into it. So, let's see what's next on my list. Next on my list is showing you this. And this is my social media links. Love you to like me, thumbs up, share, subscribe, all of the above or none of the above. If you wish to make a positive comment or just say hello, that's also welcome. I'm endeavouring to answer every single comment as you want, as you know. And this is me, Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter, saying goodbye. Goodbye now.